Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it is time to react to my Premier League predictions. And I know what you're thinking, James, you didn't do Premier League predictions on this channel. Well, I did them on HITC back in August last year, or was it September, whenever the season started? And since I don't do videos for that channel anymore, we're getting the reactions on Elecspo. I predicted the full Premier League table, who was going to be the top scorer, who was going up from the Championship, who was going down, La Liga, not the full table, Bundesliga, Serie A, and Ligue. I predicted 46 things in total across European football with varying degrees of success. And now it is time to look over those predictions and see just how wrong I was. Let's start with the Premier League. Let's go. 20th, West Brom. They're the original yo-yo club. What else am I meant to do? Sorry Baggies fans, but I can't see any way you're going to survive. Okay, so one down, and that's one incorrect, but I mean, they came 19th, they still went down, they were still relegated, they still had no hope of survival. Even big Sam Allardyce couldn't save them. Now he's ran out of the club with his tail between his legs, can't be bothered with the Championship, and he's just blaming other people for it like he always does. West Brom fans, I feel sorry for you, but in a way I'm kind of glad big Sam's gone down. But I said they would come bottom, and they didn't. They were fairly close though. I mean, how was I meant to know Sheffield United wouldn't win a game until January or whatever it was when they played Newcastle? 19th, Aston Villa. Okay, so I got this one very wrong. Aston Villa, nowhere near a relegation battle. This was actually one of the worst predictions I made in this entire predictions video. Aston Villa finished 8 places better than I said they would. They were never even close to relegation. I was saying Ollie Watkins was a waste of money at £27 million. He's been an absolute revelation. He won me fantasy football. That was an awful prediction, but not as bad as the next one. 18th, West Ham. I'm taking a big punt here, but I think the Hammers are going down. They haven't strengthened at all in the summer to my knowledge. David Moyes is still the manager. I mean, come on. The year is 2020. Why is David Moyes a Premier League manager? Okay, so West Ham weren't relegated. They weren't even in the bottom half. West Ham are playing in Europe next season. They nearly made it into the Champions League. They've ended up coming 6th. They've got Europa League football. Turns out David Moyes, quite a good manager once again. Turns out they did strengthen. Kufal, really good. Suchek, unbelievable. Turns out I know nothing about West Ham. But I mean, to be honest, West Ham fans out there, did you really... I mean, you just got beat off Newcastle on the opening day of the season. We played you off the park to a certain extent. I mean, that's not strictly true. We still beat you though. You were rubbish. How this season ended with West Ham in 6th, I will never... Surely not even the most optimistic of West Ham fans would have thought that the Hammers would be finishing in a European position. They finished 12 places higher than I thought they would. Sorry West Ham fans, I got this one very, very wrong, and this was the worst prediction I made out of the whole table. I built up to something exciting there, it never really happened. Either way, 3 teams in, I got 1 relegation right. West Brom, they went down. 17th, Fulham. Okay, so Fulham didn't survive. I took a punt saying Fulham would stay up, but I'm so glad they didn't, because for a long time it looked like it was between Fulham and Newcastle, and my little heart couldn't have taken that. If that final game had been for survival between Newcastle and Fulham, honestly, I'd been a bubbling mess. I'd have been sweating all Sunday. It would have been an absolute nightmare. But I know there was a lot of credit given to Fulham, particularly over Christmas when they picked up, but I mean, they were never really that good this season. Sure, they played some nice pretty football, but they couldn't score for love nor money. I mean, I said at the start of last summer that they'd made some impressive signings, but I mean, basically they did exactly what they did the last time they were in the Premier League. They just assembled a whole new team. They just didn't spend as much cash. Either way, it's ended with Fulham going down, and I was wrong. I was only 1 place. I said they would come 17th, they came 18th. But Scott Parker, dry your eyes mate, because you're heading back down to the Championship. 16th, Brighton. Yeah, got one right. Brighton 16th. Come on lads, shove your XG up your asses. Brighton survived it. For a while, they were in the mix, but they played so well at times, you're just like, well, surely someone's going to score. Eventually they did. Danny Welbeck turned out to be a bit of an inspired signing. Brighton are staying up, and we've got another year of Graham Potter and his XG fanatics. 15th, Sheffield United. Second season syndrome, innit? I mean, that's exactly what it was. It was second season syndrome, except I over-egged them and I thought they would survive. Sheffield United, rock bottom of the Premier League. It was so sad watching the Blades this season. I mean, last season, every game, it was always a 1-0 win. Your fantasy football team, you just littered them with Sheffield United defenders, particularly John Lundstrom because he played in midfield, and you were guaranteed points. Yet this season, they were on the opposite end of 1-0 defeats. Does it come down to Dean Henderson not being there and Aaron Ramsdale being in goal instead? I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of Aaron Ramsdale, but rock bottom, man. I said they'd made some good signings last season. They signed a load of championship players, which is going to be good for them next season. I mean, Ryan Brewster will probably do quite well. In the Premier League though, one of the worst signings of the season.
14th, Newcastle United.
I wasn't far off. They came 12th on the final day after beating Fulham 2-0. I've got no idea how Newcastle have came 12th. If you look at this season, 45 points, it's equal to their best tally since the return to the Premier League. They got to a quarter final of the League Cup. On paper, it looks like Newcastle have had another half decent season. But they won 2 games in 22 between, I think it was December and March. Their record under Steve Bruce was absolutely appalling. I've genuinely got no idea how he clung into his job. Never mind how they turned it around. Ever since that defeat off Brighton, Newcastle have been one of the best teams in the Premier League. That is an absolute stretch. They've been alright. Joe Willock, absolute revelation. Alan St-Maximin, unbelievable to watch. So fun. And Newcastle have somehow survived. How on earth have we came 12th? We've been rubbish all season.
13th, Burnley.
Okay, so I thought Burnley would do better than they did. But to be honest, the gap between 12th and 17th, it must have been like 3 points between all of them. It was all pretty close. I mean, sure, Burnley came to come 17th at the end of the day. But that group of 5 or 6 clubs, whatever it is, all they wanted to do was survive, and that's what they did. So, yes, I did get this prediction wrong, but it wasn't massively wrong. It wasn't West Ham being in the Europa League levels of wrong.
12th, Southampton. As long as they don't get beaten 9-0 on a pissing down Friday night in front of the Sky cameras, this is a good season for Southampton.
Okay, so they did get beat 9-0 in front of the Sky cameras, so was it BT? It definitely wasn't a Friday night, but they did get beat 9-0 again. What a mad season for Southampton. They were top of the league at one point, then it looked like they were going down. They got beat 9-0 again off Man United. It's just been an absolutely bonkers season for the Saints. And in the end, they came, where did they come? 15th. Surely Southampton can be better than 15th under Hasenhüttl. I don't really understand Ralph Hasenhüttl. Is he a good manager? Or is he not? I just don't get it. Southampton fans, let me know what you think down in the comments below if there's any of you out there.
11th, Crystal Palace.
I was right, they didn't go down. They didn't do as well as I thought they would. The issue for Crystal Palace is next season, at the minute, they're going to have no manager and no players. It's literally just going to be Wilfried Zaha running around doing everything on his own, which is kind of what happens in reality.
10th, Leicester City.
What the hell was I smoking that day thinking Leicester were going to come 10th? What an awful prediction. Leicester have been one of the best teams in the Premier League this season. I feel so bad for them that they've bottled the Champions League once again, but if you're a Leicester fan, you'd rather come 5th and win the FA Cup than come 4th and not win the FA Cup. I would personally, I'd much rather win a cup. In 20, 30 years time, you're still going to remember that time when Yuri Tielemans banged in a worldie at Wembley, finally playing in front of fans to win the FA Cup. That's much more memorable than qualifying for the Champions League. But why on earth I thought Leicester would come 10th? Absolutely appalling. I wonder why some of you actually listen to what I've got to say, because that's shocking.
9th, Leeds United.
That's why you listen to us, Leeds United in 9th. I think that's a mint. How on earth? Well done. Well done me. I am very proud of myself. Leeds United, newly promoted. I had the foresight to say they were going to finish in the top 10. I'm not like some idiot I used to work with who's now got to get a tattoo on his arse of Patrick Piss and Bamford. I still work with them. We still work for the same company. For me, Leeds have been I was going to say the best team in the Premier League this season. They haven't been the best team rather, but they've been the team to watch. If there was a list of Premier League games on, I would look for Leeds. Even probably ahead, well no, not ahead of Newcastle. If Newcastle weren't playing, I'd watch Leeds. They're just so fun. The way they play is fantastic. It's just total non-stop running. It's like watching kids in a park who are actually really good. I said Rodrigo would score 15 goals. That didn't happen. And Patrick Bamford scored, which I don't think anyone thought would happen. There was talk of Patrick Bamford getting in the England squad. Did he get in the England squad? This is going up about the same time as the England squad is going to be announced. I'm going to assume he didn't make it, but never mind, Patrick. What a season though for Leeds United. Can they kick on next season? Or is this going to be as good as it gets? I mean, I hope they do kick on. I mean, the team Marcelo Bielsa's putting together is absolutely fantastic. If I was a Leeds fan, honestly, it's an absolute roller coaster, but one that ends in joy and not just despair of being in League One like it did in the past.
8th, Wolves.
Okay, so Wolves, pretty disappointing this season. I think the end of this season, I'm going to look at my notes, sorry. The end of the season in 13th, I said they would come 8th. But if Raul Jimenez hadn't fractured his skull, I think it would have been a totally different season for them. I mean, it's happened to quite a few teams this season. It's amazing just how big an impact one injury has had. We saw it at Liverpool and we saw it at Wolves. They just weren't the same team without Raul Jimenez. Fabio Silva did okay in patches, but he's still only a bairn. William Jose was absolutely naff. They just didn't have the same goal threat that they normally did, Wolves. And now Nuno's leaving. I like Nuno, he seems like a good bloke, but he's probably done all he can for Wolves. They'll just get some other Portuguese bloke in and a load of other Portuguese players. It'll be grand. They should do better next season. Depends who they appoint, doesn't it?
7th, Everton.
I mean, to be fair, at the start of the season, Everton looked like likely candidates for the Champions League. They were incredible. Dominic Calvert-Lewin couldn't stop scoring. James Rodriguez was... I mean, it was amazing that James Rodriguez was playing at Goodison Park. Then came that stupid WhatsApp fake thing that said he was getting a sex change. And the chopped his dick off, lad. It all just fell apart for him. How have Everton... They've finally won at Anfield. They got Carlo Ancelotti as manager. They were spending big money. They were playing good football. They didn't even win the Everton Cup and come 7th. They've come 10th. God, Carlo Ancelotti must just be pulling his hair out thinking, what on earth has he got to do to this Everton team to get them actually breaking into the top 6? It started so well, but it's been a bit of a miserable season for Everton.
6th, Spurs.
I was close, they came 7th, and now they've got to play in the Europa Conference League. It's been a pretty grim few months really for Tottenham. They had the whole European Super League nonsense where somehow they were a part of it and then obviously backed out because everyone else did. Then Daniel Levy was charging people 65 quid for that final game of the season because they had a DJ on or something like that. The seats were crap. Now Harry Kane wants to leave. It is all going wrong for Tottenham. And they sacked Jose Mourinho. I mean, that was probably deserved. They still haven't appointed a manager at the time of recording. Goodness knows what's going to happen to Tottenham. But I mean, next season they're in the Europa Conference League. They'd have probably rather have finished 8th. But they haven't. They've finished 7th, which is... I was close. 6th. I was only one off. To be one off's not bad. I mean, I was one off quite a few of these teams. Tottenham was one of them. Still wrong though. Never mind. We're still only on 2. Bang on.
5th, Arsenal. They've brought in players to fix the defence. Aubameyang looks like he's going to stay. So I think they could push for Champions League. I think they'll narrowly miss out, but there'll be a push.
Right, let me get this straight. I thought Leicester were going to finish 10th and Arsenal were going to come 5th and push for the Champions League. I mean, actually, when you look at the way the points have finished, Arsenal weren't a million miles off the Champions League. But when you focus on the performances, the results, it's been a bad season for the Gunners. Just like Tottenham, they're in a rough patch. There's protests against the owners. There's going to be no money to spend. Oh, it's desperate times at Arsenal at the minute. But, I mean, what have you got to shout about? The Spotify guy wants to buy you? That's not going to happen, is it? What else is good about being Arsenal at the minute? They call it the Emile Smith Rowe, the Croydon De Bruyne. That's not got old yet, has it? Arsenal, I mean, they've came 8th, but no European football. Is Mikel Arteta the man? I mean, he's done alright since January, actually, when you look at the form table since then, but the signs are pretty grim for Arsenal. Arsenal aren't even a big 6 club anymore, let's be honest with you. Leicester have replaced them. I mean, even West Ham did better than them this season. Terrible season for Arsenal. Although the points, they did still nearly qualify for Europe. Either way, I was wrong, they didn't come 5th.
4th, Manchester United. In fact, if Man United win the title this season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I will stand on the roof of my house and sing Glory, Glory Manchester United for everyone in the street to see, including the angry cat over the road that's called Joey Barton.
It's a good job the title wasn't decided in November like Man United fans thought it was, otherwise I'd have been on the roof chanting Glory, Glory Man United. I mean, yes, Man United did have a good... I mean, they started the season quite badly. They were getting battered off Tottenham, for goodness sake. Then somehow they were top. Everyone thought Man United were title contenders. And then they were just best of the rest. Nah, a good season for Man United. To come 2nd, they've got the Europa League final coming on Wednesday night. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they've trusted him. I don't really understand Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's getting results. And I think Man United will get some money to spend this season. The Glazers are going to try and paper over the cracks of the fans storming the stadium. They'll probably splash out for someone big. Can they push for the title next season? We'll see who they sign. But at least they've qualified for the Champions League. They've came second. They've finished above their rivals Liverpool. And I was wrong. They've done better than I thought they would. I said they'd come fourth. They've come second. Either way, thank goodness they didn't win the title.
Third, Chelsea. I just don't think Frank Lampard's the right man to really get Chelsea back to the top of the table.
I mean, it was half right. Roman Abramovich didn't think Frank Lampard was the right man either. That's why he sacked him in January. Since Thomas Tuchel's come in, they've been great. They play a bit of a different style. They're a bit more pragmatic in a way. They're solid. Attacking players are starting to flourish. Kai Havertz, he's going to be one to watch next season. But still, they nearly missed out on the top four, beaten in the FA Cup final. But they have got a Champions League final coming up this weekend. Thomas Tuchel has really turned things around for Chelsea. I said they'd come third, they've came fourth. I was pretty close, to be honest with you. But next year could be the one for Chelsea. Next year could be special for them. It probably will be. They're not going to topple Man City.
And I'm going to say Timo Werner will be the top scorer.
Oh Christ, I thought saying West Ham coming 18th was a bad prediction. Timo Werner is top scorer. Just for reference, Timo Werner scored 6 goals in Premier League games this season. In comparison, the Golden Boot winner Harry Kane got 23. What a god-awful prediction. Timo Werner's been offside more times than I've had hot dinners this week. I mean, it is only Tuesday, and he is offside all the time. He's offside now, probably.
Second, Liverpool.
Okay, so I was only one away. Liverpool came third, not second. But to be honest, if I'd known Liverpool's entire defence was going to be crippled by October, I probably wouldn't have predicted them to come second. For Liverpool to have come third without Van Dijk, they've had no Gomez most of the season. Matip's been injured. Fabinho's haven't been playing centre-back. Jordan Henderson's been playing centre-back, then he got injured. It's been a rough, tough season for Liverpool. Yet still they've made it into the top 3. They've finished in a Champions League position. It's not been a bad season for Liverpool, all things considered. Surely they're going to challenge again next season. This team they've got is still exceptional. Thiago at the end of the season. Oh, I just love Thiago. It was really pissing us off, all the slander he was getting at times, just because he would point at things or they weren't winning games. Honestly, I could watch Thiago every day of the week. And Nash Phillips, him heading the ball is a sight to behold.
And first, Manchester City.
Come on, 3 out of 20, bang on. Manchester City predicted as champions. I mean, it's been on the horizon for a while now. Sure, the start of the season poorly. They were getting beat off Leicester and whoever else it was. They got hammered off Leicester, actually. But since November-ish, they've just been absolutely relentless. Even without a striker, the way Pep Guardiola's team have been playing has been absolutely out of this world. Phil Foden, just absolutely wondrous stuff. Ilkay Gundogan getting goals. Ruben Dias has been the main difference. He's been the Vincent Kompany figure that they have missed at centre-back. Signing of the season, no doubt in my mind. I mean, fair play to him, winning player of the season. I'd have gone Harry Kane over him personally, but Ruben Dias, what a signing. Pep Guardiola, what a manager. Man City, what a team. I mean, it wasn't really that outlandish saying they were going to come first. I think most people probably said they would win the league. But there we have it. That was my Premier League predictions. Out of the whole table, I got 3 absolutely bang on. And I mean, there was a few I was close on. Liverpool I was only 1 off. Chelsea I was only 1 off. Spurs only 1 off. Newcastle 2 off. Fulham 1 off. And West Brom 1 off. So it wasn't too bad. It was only Leicester, West Ham and Villa who I got absolutely totally wrong, and begs the question, do I know anything about football? Right, we'll move on to the Championship now. Coming up, I said Bournemouth, Derby County and Brentford. What? I mean, Derby County nearly went down to League One. I mean, I didn't think Wayne Rooney was going to be manager by the end of the season, or did he start the season as manager? Honestly, I can't remember most things that have happened this season. It's all been a little bit of a blur, to be honest with you. So Derby County was an awful prediction, probably as bad as West Ham. Bournemouth beaten in the playoff semi-finals. They were close, but not close enough. Brentford are my last hope. They've got the playoff final coming up. Surely this is the year for Brentford. They were so close last season. Bournemouth are the team I want to go up. Sorry, Swansea fans, but Brentford... Did I say Bournemouth I want to go up there? I'm not sure. Either way, Brentford are the team I want to go up. Not even just to get another prediction right. Going down, I said Wickham, Coventry and Barnsley. Wickham I got right. They nearly stayed up. They needed a canny goal swing on the final day. Coventry, they survived fairly easily. Barnsley nearly came up. They were minutes away from relegation last season. Somehow they made it into the playoff semis. I don't really know what's been going on at Barnsley this season, but whatever those players have been eating for breakfast, injected into my veins, because I need that kind of energy to take me to those heights. Well done, Barnsley, for doing as well as you did. Kind of good they didn't make the playoff final. That would have been the exciting playoff final, Brentford and Barnsley. I'm sounding like a real Swansea hater here. I'm really not. But never mind, that's out of the championship. I didn't do very well. We'll move on to Europe. I'm going to have to use my notes for this one. Is this unprofessional using a notepad? I mean, if it was an iPad, it would look kind of professional. I mean, I could just put this in front of an iPad and it looks like I'm... You know, the newsreaders have got the tablets and it looks like they kind of know what they're doing. Straight with it. So France, starting with Ligue 1, I said PSG was certain to be champions. I mean, everyone probably said that. I mean, who in their right mind was sitting at the start of the season thinking, I fancy Lille this year, I think they've got a chance. Even before Mauricio Pochettino came in, PSG, surely they had to win Ligue 1, and they haven't. Mauricio Pochettino has failed to deliver the title. So I got that one wrong. I also got the league's top scorer wrong. I said Depay, he came second. Close. Going down, I had Metz, Lens and Brest. Some wonderful French pronunciation there. Brest nearly went down, but they did survive. Other two, they came in the top half. So it turns out I know absolutely nothing about French football, which isn't news to me. I do know nothing about French football. Let's move on to the Bundesliga. Of course, Bayern Munich, winners. I think everyone probably predicted them. I did, and I got them right. I also got Robert Lewandowski as the top goal scorer right. The thing about the Bundesliga is, if you look at the top goal scorer charts, off the top of my head, I think it was Lewandowski with 41, then Andre Silva with 28, then Erling Haaland with 27. In most leagues, 27 would win you the Golden Boot. In the Bundesliga, it only gets you third. Absolutely ridiculous numbers for these Bundesliga strikers. But it is Robert Lewandowski who took top spot. Going down, I didn't predict Schalke. I didn't say Schalke going down. I had Bielefeld and Mainz. Bielefeld came close to the playoff place. Mainz, I don't think they were anywhere near relegation. So, 2 out of 4 for the Bundesliga. On to Serie A, I only went and did it. Juventus nailed... No, I didn't say Juventus. I said Juventus wouldn't win. I said Inter Milan would win Serie A. I didn't think Juventus were the right team under Andrea Pirlo. Turns out I was right. I've got Inter Milan spot on. And I got Ronaldo's top goal scorer right. So, that's pretty good. As for the relegation places, Benevento, they went down. I got that. As for Spezia and Genoa, wrong. Not right at all. And finally, we end with La Liga. We end with the Spanish top flight. I didn't think Atletico Madrid would win it. I can't imagine many did either. I had Real Madrid who came second. They were pretty close. I had Messi as top goal scorer because who else are you going to pick? Martin Braithwaite? No, Messi won it, so I got that one right. Going down, Cadiz didn't go down. Cadiz did quite well, actually. Alaves, they didn't go down, but they did come close. And Huesca I got right. So in total, my predictions were... a few of them were close. But close is still wrong, isn't it? In total, I predicted 26 things. I'm going to see how many I got right now. I've got written down here 12, but I think it's actually only 11. I think I've said I got Brentford right, even though they're only in the playoff final. So as it stands, I've got 11 out of 46 right. Brentford could take that up to 12. So in total, I got a quarter of things right. Is that good? I mean, let me know in the comments below whether you think these predictions were any good. Personally, I'm not very happy with myself. The only thing I'm proud of is getting Leeds in 9th. I think I deserve a little... Let's have a little round of applause. Come on, keep clapping. Getting Leeds in 9th. Genius. Just as clever as Marcelo Bielsa. Where's my bucket? Keep clapping. Come on. Why aren't you still clapping? No one's clapping. But we will leave it there. They were my predictions that I made last season. Turns out I'm not a genius. But I think we knew that already. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.